Today I just thought that I could talk about some random art tips. And this video has been like a long time in the making at this point. Like honestly, it's been like I think I wrote down this outline of what I wanted to say October 18th. Like I'm looking at my notes right now. But anyway, I have some art tips that I'd like to share. It's not an exact tutorial. This is obviously a speed drawing right now, but I'm not going to be showing these tips in the video, even though I'm talking about these tips. I don't know if that makes sense, but anyway, here are some random art tips that just came to my mind, and I hope that you guys really like this, and I could make so many of these if you are interested, because I have like 13 years now of experience, I think. But yeah, here are some things I've learned from getting frustrated, burnt out, overthinking, all of the above. So yeah, all right. Let's start with some general art tips. So, and they've actually worked for me. So take note, take out your notes app right now and start writing stuff down. All right, start it right now, right now. All right. First one, sketch ugly on purpose sometimes. You ever notice how perfectionism sucks the fun out of drawing? Like, you try so hard to make it look good that your hand just forgets how to move. When you sketch ugly on purpose, you like shut that voice up for a bit, and to be honest, some of my favorite pieces that I've made actually came out from those ugly sketches. I guess that's just my style, but if you're anything like my style, then I think that would help. Yeah. Next tip. The undo button can kill your flow. So this one is sort of related to, well, not sort of, it is related to like digital art. I know that the undo button is tempting, but every time you hit undo, you break that rhythm. Like, let your mistakes breathe for a second, and sometimes the accident gives you something your brain couldn't have like planned for. And this also goes for drawings or sketches. I make quote unquote mistakes all the time, but instead of erasing those mistakes, I've let them add to my piece. But yeah, it's very human, and something about it feels authentic and natural. So, I don't know, try it out. I know you're feeling like you're out of control is, I don't know, it's stressful, but you can learn something from your past mistakes, pretty much. Okay, tip number 3. Rest counts as part of the process. Oh, I might have to make this video a little bit shorter. I'm running out of tips. Well, I'm not running out of tips. I'm only on tip number 3. Anyway, rest counts as part of the process. For sure I've said this before, but if you haven't seen my past videos, I used to feel really guilty for taking breaks. It was like I felt like I felt like I was wasting time. But if you rest, your brain is actually still working. It's just quieter about it. And I guarantee if you push past that guiltiness or disappointment, when you come back from your break, you'll have like a new set of eyes and a clearer vision, like for where you want to take your piece or pieces. Okay, number 4. These next few tips are related to your mindset and creativity. So, let me see. If you're bored with your art, that's usually not boredom. That's like fake. That's a facade being put on by your burnout. You know, you start chasing what you think people want to see or what you feel like you should be drawing, and suddenly your art feels like empty. One tip to counteract this would be try making one drawing that nobody else will ever see. Like, seriously, just something for you. It's wild how free you'll start feeling, and it's yourself that's making yourself bored. Like, instead of drawing the same things, try drawing something out of your comfort zone. Or if you're an illustrator, try painting. If you're a painter, try digital art. If you're a digital artist, try drawing on paper. Any of the aboves and more. Alright, another thing to keep in mind involving your mentality is that art blocks aren't creative droughts. They're just your mind asking for input, right? So think about that. Many beginner artists think that art block means that they've lost it, but that's probably like far from the truth. You've just been either making the same art or doing the art that you make But you've been doing the same thing for too long. You gotta recharge, like, through movies, movies, through movies, books, games, new music, people watching, being outside, etc. I wrote that whole list. But inspiration doesn't come from pushing harder; it comes from mental resets. All right. So now here's some tips revolving around your workflow and technique. Change your background color, because white canvases light straight to your face. Like when you paint or draw on pure white, your colors start tricking you. Everything looks darker than it is. Try like either like a mid gray or burnt sienna. I use burnt sienna for my underpaintings and it works great. Like even yellow ochre, like a light wash of yellow ochre would work better than just straight white. Tiny is that's like a tiny tweak, but it like makes a huge difference, I swear. It helps your colors be more real, you know? Like like it'll show you how it really looks. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, now for the fun stuff. Monster design and horror art. This is for people in my niche who love this stuff. All right. Um, I guess my first tip would be that like real fear hides in what's almost human. Like think of Uncanny Valley or like a half transformed monster. Like I've used this reference in a different video, but if you have watched An American Werewolf in London, I think is the name of it. If you've seen that and saw the transformation scene, you'll see how effective it is in that body horror. Like it's awesome. It's something nearly right, but with something that's slightly off. Like a smile that's too wide. I love doing that with huge teeth, you know. But it you don't need to do teeth. I just said that I like doing that. But like if you want to do like a halfway point, like what I'm mentioning, a smile that's a little too wide, eyes that don't have lids, limbs that are a little bit too long. It's just the brain going like, oh, I recognize this, but I don't trust it. You know, that tension is what will make your designs even better than they probably already are. This might seem contradictory, but also adding one element of beauty could also potentially make your piece more visually intriguing. I don't personally mix too much softness into horror, but when I do, I would, for example, make a monster with pretty eyes or like symmetrical features, etc. Here's another interesting idea to try. I haven't done this myself, but it seems like it would be a fun idea, and let me know if you actually tried it. I'd love to hear like what you have to say about it. Like, was it a good idea? I don't know. But sketch from memory after looking at something unsettling. All right. So picture this: like you watched a disturbing movie online, and in one of the scenes, the killer murdered one of the other characters. How would you describe that scene to someone who hasn't seen that film? Think about that, and then try to draw it from memory, because memory distorts details in weird ways. It could make it look more gruesome than it was or exaggerate other features that you recall. The result feels almost dreamlike and wrong in a way that your brain can't recreate without reference, you know? I don't know if that makes sense, but it seems like it would be very cool. Okay, so the last two of my tips are shorter, but we'll be focusing on mood and atmosphere. I feel like this is pretty simple. You know, don't just use red for horror. I know that I have a lot of red in mine, like when I like to add blood and like wounds, like I'm doing in this drawing. But you don't need to just resort to reds. Red still works for sure, but horror that lingers is usually like sickly and like not loud. Think of like pale greens or like dirty yellows, faded purples, you know? Colors that look like they've spoiled or something. It's not about shock value, it's about the decay. That is what is really there, you know? Okay, next tip. Let silence breathe in your composition. Sometimes the scariest or most emotional art happens in the quiet. Negative space is like very, very powerful. Like, if you leave room on the canvas, paper, or screen, The emptiness does some of the talking, like even the smallest detail suddenly hits like 10 times harder because you can actually like focus on it. Like it focuses in a very, not voyeuristic way, but very expository, is that a word? Exposing type of manner. But yeah, like it makes it just have like a spotlight on them, and that's a pretty cool effect. So yeah, keep making, keep resting, and let yourself be a little messy. But yeah, thanks for watching. I have more tutorial type vids like this in my playlist, so check them out, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye bye. Oh, also, I'm posting a gameplay video very shortly. Maybe in the next few days, perhaps. I don't know why I'm talking like that. Anyways, you can look forward to it. It's another gaming video, but I'm thinking of doing a specific drawing, and I think that it'll come out cool. You'll just have to give me some more time, because these drawing videos take longer to put out, because I don't draw like consecutively. Like I'll just draw something, then come back to it like a month later for some reason. Like I'll just stop working on something. But it's perfect for what I was just mentioning. It's like a good brain reset to do that. Ah, dang, I forgot what the beginning of that sentence was, so I don't even know if I made sense. Maybe that's a sign that I should probably stop talking, and I should just let you watch the rest of this drawing. How would you like that? Is that a good idea? Anyways, that's gonna be the idea, so bye.